The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Jamie, I met a couple of Morning Drive listeners Saturday at the ball game. One at the Frazier Alumni Pavilion before the game. I met Ed from Tulsa.
Oh, well, hello, Ed from Tulsa.
Ed from Tulsa.
Thanks for listening.
He's a season ticket holder and comes in for every game.
Very cool.
His dad, he told me, played basketball at Texas Tech in 1934, and they had a center jump after every basket.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That's interesting.
And then
talk about slowing down the flow of the game.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. And then after the game, as I was making my way towards Coach McGuire's press conference, I met Corey. Okay.
All right.
So
glad to have you with us, Corey.
Yeah. So we shook hands and exchanged pleasantries. Okay.
Good.
Yeah. So
what a big day for him. He got to see the Red Raiders win, and he got to shake hands with Chuck Heinz. How did your meeting with Mike Golick Jr. go?
Oh man, I love talking to him on Friday. Yeah, that was or Saturday after the game. Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes you meet people, and I kind of feel like I'm one of these guys, and I think you're one of these guys. But Mike Golick he's Mike Golick Jr. I mean, he's former ESPN radio guy. He did the game for TNT. Blah blah blah. He's a regular dude.
Good.
Yeah, he enjoyed his time here. He, I think, enjoyed the facilities and everything, and his time around town. So
yeah, I saw him tweeting about the facilities, so that's cool.
Yeah, so I think he had a grand time.
Awesome.
How did you get that word that I had combo with Mike Golick Jr. after the ball game?
I received pictures.
You did from the Flying Mammal.
I have lots of sources.
What am I under constant surveillance with you guys, just so that people can document my activities and travels and who I'm talking to and all that kind of stuff?
Well, you have a reputation,
big bright beacon on the radar.
You have a reputation of being a bit of a climber, right? Mm-hmm. So there's just more adding to the fuel to that fire.
Sure.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, that's a raging inferno, isn't it?
Yeah, I would guess so.
Yeah.
Well, that's good that he's a good dude.
Yeah, he was a really good dude.
But he appreciated what we got going on here because I think we all do as well.
Yeah. Right. One thing that Coach McGuire was very frustrated with, and I think we're all frustrated with, was the short yardage situations for the Red Raiders, especially 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and not being able to get a yard against Kent State's defensive line.
Yeah,
he was very frustrated with that. He called it a lack of detail. He said we did not strain like we needed to, and he said one of the most frustrating things for him was we got beat at the point of attack.
Yeah.
I thought I'm not sure that I think a couple people agreed with me. I thought the offense was sluggish at times, and there was. I mean, you had.
If by the second half you mean times,
I'm talking even in the first. I'm talking even in the first half when you had to settle for a couple of field goals. You had to turn it over on downs. You got to take advantage of a short field because the guy hiked the ball over the punter's head. Well, he hiked it so high, the punter hiked it so low. I guess the punter had to go down on a knee, which I thought was a great catch by the officials. When they started talking, I'm like, oh, they must think that he touched his knee, and sure doggone enough, you had a short field there. I just thought there,
Well, that's not the offense's fault.
I know. I'm just telling. But settling for a couple of field goals. How long
did it take him to score after that?
Not long.
Yeah.
I'm just.
How's that sluggish?
I just felt there was a little sluggish. Barron wasn't completely sharp. I mean, you could see that there was some effects of the injury for him, which probably best. I was wrong on that.
I couldn't see that.
He missed on some passes,
and he missed on passes last week.
Yeah,
too.
he only missed 4 the week
And
before.
he missed 6.
I'm not being critical. I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just saying that you could see the effects of the. I just felt like the offense at times was a little sluggish.
Okay.
I mean, I know that there's not going to be much agreement with me on that.
I mean, I thought the whole second half was sluggish.
Yeah. I guess the turnover on downs was in the second half. Okay. But I don't know. There just were some times I'm like, oh, was this not, just kind of chugging along here. I mean, there were lots of great moments.
You've played 2 extreme patsies. You got a massive lead. I mean, it's going to be hard to be dialed in every second. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you only have 12 games. I mean, when the game's decided before you ever step on the field, there are going to be mental lapses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
I mean, it's just, again, it's got to be hard to stay dialed in.
I thought from an energy standpoint, they came out with a ton of energy, and we talked about that a little bit on Optimum Game Day Live. It's like, okay, what's the crowd going to be like? Yeah. I mean, when I walked in the student section 45 minutes before the ball game, down below me on the east side, it was packed. So good on them. Good on the crowd that was there. I mean, the crowd was really good. It was exciting. There at the beginning. I mean, I realized that as the game got away from everything, people were like, okay, well, I'm going to take the rest of my Saturday afternoon and go do something. I get that. Let's see here. Good morning. Listening to the Morning Drive in Arlington. Okay, well, it's a good time to be in Arlington. This, not trying to be critical, continues to find things to complain about. It was just an observation. How about that? It was an observation.
Yeah, I guess I just expect you to not be perfect in games like that or whatever.
No, I
expect quarterback to miss throws. It doesn't necessarily mean it's because they're injured.
I'm not near as frustrated with the short yardage running as I am with the penalties in the return game. Cost us over 100 yards in field position so far in the 2 games.
Yeah, it would be one thing if it was just, you weren't getting good returns, right, and you were getting backed up. That's frustrating too. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, but it's like you're seeing these exciting plays and getting some good returns, and that's, man, hey, we're going to take over at midfield, and no, we're not. We're going to take over at the 15 instead. I mean, it's just constant. Like every time you get a big return, and who knows, maybe you're getting the big return because of that hold. I don't know, but regardless, you want that part of your game to be good. You want to have the ability to pick up big yards in the return game when you have the opportunity, and it's just disappointing to see those fun plays taken away now 4 times.
One of the holds yesterday or Saturday, Coach McGuire had objected to. He didn't think it was, and the other thing he's frustrated with is that some of these holds hasn't even affected the long return. It's just as he says, sloppy play, laziness, feet in the wrong spot, all those things.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Time for this day in sports history. Today is 9/8/25. Here is Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
Starting in 1939, Cleveland Indians' Bob Feller, at 20, is the youngest pitcher to win 20 games. 1954, with a 3-2 count, Phillies' Richie Ashburn makes it 14 straight foul balls and then earns himself a walk.
Good way to work that at bat.
That's exactly how you work that at bat.
Eric Nadel may have picked up his mic and just left.
1972, Ferguson Jenkins wins his 20th game for the 6th consecutive season. Fast forward 8 years later, he is suspended indefinitely by Major League Baseball commissioner after being arrested in Toronto for the possession of drugs.
Yeah. It's
ironic that they happen on the same day.
That's a bad high. Can't go through customs in Toronto and not get picked up.
2002, rookie quarterback David Carr throws 2 touchdown passes as the Houston Texans beat the Dallas Cowboys 19-10 to become only the second expansion team after the 1961 Minnesota Vikings to win their inaugural game.
I drove down and went to that game.
And in 2007, Graham Harrell goes 48 for 64 for 484 yards and 4 touchdowns, and leads the Texas Tech Red Raiders to from 11 down to beat UT El Paso 45-31. And yes, I did say UT El Paso instead of UTEP just to annoy people.
Or one person.
Yeah.
Okay.
It worked. It is National Date Nut Bread Day. That is a type of bread that is very hard to say. It is easier to eat, but there's no way to, smooth that one out. Happy birthday to singer Pink, who is 46. Bernie Sanders is 84. David Arquette, 54. Terrence Williams, 36. And Garrett Cole is 35. And on this day in 1900, one of the deadliest hurricanes in U.S. history hits Galveston, killing more than 6,000 people.
That's crazy.
Storm caused so much destruction on the Texas coast that reliable estimates of the total number of victims are difficult to make. Some believe it could be as many as 12,000 people perished, which would make it the most deadly day in American history. When you don't know a Category 3 hurricane is coming, things get bad fast.
Mm-hmm.
And that is This Day in Sports History.
All right, This Day in Sports History. Thank you, Jeff. 6:48 this morning here on the morning drive. We'll have the high school fan zone on for you tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll have coaches from Estacado, Memorial, and Liberty on tonight from 6 until 7:30. Liberty won, and Estacado won, and Memorial is still transitioning. They're going to play varsity basketball and baseball, but they're playing JV football this year, and then
they won too. They'll
move up. Okay,
yeah,
the Memorials did. Okay, Estacado won on the last play of the game. It's crazy. It was an untimed down, and they beat Hereford on the last play of the game. The officials, whom I guess weren't from the Hereford Rotary Club, correctly got it right, Jamie, I guess, because they were down to their last play, and they won by a score of 33. They were down at one point in time 33-29, and they came back and won 35-33. They didn't have to kick the extra point. There was a play, and they went out of bounds, and apparently there should have been time left on the clock, and so they played an untimed down, and they handed the ball to Raheem Hunter, who went into the end zone as time expired, and they won 35-33.
So an untimed down happens after a penalty on the last play of a half or the game, right? When there's a penalty, so there's an untimed down. So it feels like in this situation, and you're from what I heard, the game ended, the clock operator let it run down to 0, and the official said no, there's time left on the clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I think that's not an untimed down, even though they didn't put the time on the clock.
Okay.
Just because maybe it was too difficult to do, I don't know.
All right.
But an untimed down comes after a penalty.
Yeah.
And this was where the clock operator the hometown clock operator just let it run out.
Maybe that's where the flag was thrown, on the clock operator.
The clock operator.
They don't call them home games for nothing.
This is not the first time this has happened in high school football.
Oh, no.
Nor will it be the last.
No. But Coach Eric Ward will be on tonight from 6 to 6:30, and I'm sure.
And good for those officials for having the guts to stand up and do the right thing on the road.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So that's really good. That's really good stuff. And this from Randy Rosetta's article in Hub City Preps, and you'll hear from Randy tonight on 100.7 The Score. Hunter took a direct snap from, quote, an old school offensive formation and plowed into the end zone on the final untimed play of the night. The officials decided, with some controversy, that the extra play should be awarded since the clock should not have expired on the next to last play.
Yeah, so
like you said.
So technically it's not really an untimed down because there was time left. Right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't put time back on the clock. Yeah.
I don't know if it was too difficult to say put 1 second up there, or we're just going to have them have one last shot at it, because it's not as if it's not going to last the full second. Obviously it was. So, yeah.
So that's good for them. Good for Estacado.
Yeah, no doubt. And apparently in that game, I mean, the deciding factor in the game is they had after giving up a touchdown to tie the game at 27, they blocked the extra point attempt and ran it back for 2 to go up 29-27, and those 2 points ended up being the difference in the game.
There was a 91-yard kickoff return, 2 in the ball game for Estacado for their second score of the night. So, yeah, it was. That's crazy. Crazy ball game in Hereford. So we'll get his thoughts on that, Coach Eric Ward. And then Liberty is 2-0. Man, they're humming, Jamie.
Yeah, got off to a great start. Terrific start. And I think they've played 2 3A programs, and they're 4A teams. No,
I got it, but I mean that's just their second year of playing football.
Yeah.
55-12 they won over Idlewood. They'd beaten Newhome the week before 49-7.
Yeah, so it'll get a little tougher for them, but they have definitely started out playing really well. That's good.
They'll play another home game this week. They'll take on Monahans. That'll be on Friday. And
remember last year they had to start the season with 3 road games.
Yeah, because the stadium wasn't quite done yet.
Yeah, so now they get to host 3 games to start the year.
And actually, it's a 4th. They'll play Seminole at home as well on the 19th. They don't go on the road until the 26th when they play at Fort Stockton.
And I think Seminole is state ranked, so that'll be a really good one.
Yeah, so they'll play. Then after the 4 home, they play 3 on the road. They play 1 at home, 1 at Estacado, and which would be at Lowry Field, and then 1 at home. So, yeah, it'll be crazy. One other note from the high school ranks, and it's not good. Friendship lost on Friday night. They were outscored 19-0 down the stretch, and they're 0-2 for the first time since 2017.
Did not look good at all in that second half.
Ouch.
Yep.
Ouch. We'll have the Friendship Fan Zone on Wednesday for you, so you get a chance to kind of take a look at the tape, get things fixed before Friday's game.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. At 9, you'll hear the end of the bench on 100.7 The Score, or if you so choose, Dan Patrick here on Double T 97.3 and the Dan Patrick Show. The latest top 25 came out yesterday, Jamie, for both the Associated Press and the Coaches Poll. Red Raiders go up to 21 in the Associated Press poll. Utah is right ahead of them at number 20, and the other Big 12 team that is ranked is Iowa State as they go to 14. Arizona State fell completely out of the poll. That's stunning to me.
It's a big drop.
I mean, you go from 12 to nothing. I mean, they're the team that's highest receiving votes outside, but I mean,
doesn't show a lot of respect for Mississippi State.
Yeah, we're the Big 12, really. And then in the coaches poll, Texas Tech is ranked 20th and Utah is ranked 21st. Okay, and Iowa State is ranked 14th in that particular poll. Arizona State is 24th and BYU is 25th. Okay, so you got 5 in the Big 12 in that particular ranking. Ohio State continues to be ranked number 1 in both polls. Penn State is number 2 in both polls. LSU is ranked 3rd in the AP and 4th in the coaches poll. Georgia is 3rd, and then rounding out the top 5 in the AP is Oregon and Miami. And then in the coaches poll, it's Oregon, then it's number 5. Okay. All right. Let's see. 7:17 this morning here on the morning drive. Chuck, you are being a little too critical after we won. A win is a win, bro. Take pride in this team, and if you can't be happy about us winning, take one of Jamie's Mountain Man snacks. Is that a nighttime snack, or is that a night snack, or is that a permanent snack?
I still haven't figured out exactly what a Mountain Man snack is.
Okay.
But it's a little fun running joke that we've got going.
Okay, sounds like it wouldn't end positively for me with regard to that. Okay.
I don't know. I really don't think you're being overly negative.
No, I don't either. Again, it was just an observation, and it's my 2 cents. I mean, and I'm not clamoring for everybody to agree with me. God knows that doesn't happen. If I ever get everybody to agree with me, then that'll probably be my last day when I say, okay, I'm hanging it up, and everybody goes, yay!
Don't want that.
Elsewhere in the Big 12 on Saturday, Missouri beat Kansas 42-31. Jayhawks had a lead in that ball game and then coughed it up, and then Missouri, boy, they looked really good there at the end. Just kept piling. Kansas had no answer for them. Oregon, they shoved it right down Oklahoma State's throat, didn't they?
Goodness.
69-3. Mississippi State.
Don't feel like that game was that close either.
Yeah, Mississippi State wins 24-20. Iowa State is a winner. Baylor comes back and beats SMU, Jamie, 48-45 in 2 overtimes.
What a great game.
Yeah, Sawyer Robertson had a great game.
Down by 14 with 5 minutes left. Find a way to get it to overtime, and then get a missed field goal in overtime to really put you in a good spot, and then you're able to kick the game winner. That's a great comeback win for Baylor. Good win for the conference.
Ohio wins at home over West Virginia 17-10.
That was not good for the conference.
That was not good for Rich Rod or West Virginia or anybody. Army goes into Kansas State, and they take down the Wildcats 24-21. Okay.
It's crazy the time of possession in that second half.
Yes.
Which was partly because Kansas State, one possession they go 3 and out, and the second possession they return a kick for a touchdown, so they don't have any plays, any time of possession, and then they Army just controlled the ball, going for it a 4th down numerous times and finding ways to get it done. It was quite a game.
40 minutes and 29 seconds for the game for Army, but in the second half it was like, 27 minutes out of the 30? I mean, it's something like that. It was crazy number. K-State had it for 19 and a half in that ball game. Army, as you mentioned, on 4th down, they were 6 of 7, Jamie.
Yeah.
So K-State was 2 of 2, but when you go 10 of 22 on 3rd down and 6 of 7 on 4th down, K-State was 2 of 9 on 3rd down. Anybody
know how the Johnson family celebrated?
No.
Avery Johnson's dad and brother.
I didn't hear if they had another altercation on the Broadway of Kansas State. So
Aggieville is what they call it.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. So they may have been drowning their sorrows in the hotel room. Who knows?
Right.
They went down to that pizza place that I enjoy in Manhattan so much.
Okay.
Well, how can you be upset when you're eating pizza?
I know, no doubt.
BYU beat Stanford 27-3.
I expected a wider margin of victory there.
You did?
But
okay.
Maybe BYU just kind of
took their foot off the gas, so to speak.
I went to bed in the second half. So.
Okay. All right. And then that's pretty much it for the conference, other than the usual suspects, winning over, directional schools and
Houston and Rice was interesting for a while. That game was like 7-3 at halftime. So that was one that was probably more interesting than the final score showed.
Turned out to be a good win for the conference. And I hate to say that out loud because it was a Houston win.
35-9.
Yeah, Utah just blew out Cal Poly. We expected that.
Yeah.
Colorado looked much better in beating Delaware. It's Delaware.
Overall, not a good weekend.
You ever been to Delaware?
I have not.
Okay. Is that
Arizona continues to surprise me a little bit. I mean, they beat Weber State 48-3, but I mean, they're making bad teams look bad, and Arizona wasn't doing that last year.
Yeah.
So it feels like they've taken a bit of a step forward.
Yeah. K-State only had 6 possessions all game long.
Crazy.
So do you put the pin on the offense there, or is that the defense's inability to get off the field?
Well, I mean, it can't. The offense can't get possessions themselves. So it feels like that's more about the defense than anything.
Yeah.
Now, if you were questioning the number of plays and that they weren't staying on the field and sustaining drives, you could put that on the offense. But the number of possessions, that has to do with, again, the other team controlling the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also you returned one for a kick.
Sure.
Or one for a touchdown off a kickoff.
Sure. 7:22 this morning here on the morning drive. It's a long time before you play K-State, so.
Yeah.
We'll
trade the weeks and get them early? Can we make that happen once? That'd be no.
Yeah, this is so clearly. If you're looking at your schedule right now, you got to feel like, as we sit here today, that the toughest game on your schedule is Utah on the road.
Okay.
Yep.
Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, that is. This schedule is not.
Not shaping up to what we thought it would be.
Not working out the way that you would want it, right? You'd want to get into Big 12 play and stair step up a little bit, but you're going your toughest game of the season after playing your 3 easiest games of the season.
And then, what do you feel about home game? Do you think it's Kansas is your toughest home game?
BYU.
BYU. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I still think Kansas is a good team.
And then you have to play at Arizona State as well. So, but that doesn't necessarily look quite as daunting, maybe as it did.
Maybe not quite, because I don't think they've been super impressive in either one of their games. But I still think that's a really tough game for the Red Raiders.
At least you won't have to play them. And of course, I say this. I mean, it could be 100 degrees there on October the 18th, but maybe the weather will be a little more cooperative for you. And does that really matter? I mean, talk about cooperative.
The weather's the deciding factor there. I'm really disappointed.
Who would have thought that we would have had the weather we had on Saturday? Man, it was a beautiful ball game to sit and enjoy and be outside. And sun came out in the second half, and it was quite comfortable, no matter where you were.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, we don't normally do power rankings on this show, but I just we're gonna do a little bit of that here today, and I'm gonna ask you to rank in order your top 3 Big 12 teams.
Oh, top 3
at this point.
Okay,
just 1 through 3.
1 through 3. I don't think we know enough yet to give them a 1, so I'm going to put Utah at 1. I'm going to put Texas Tech at 2. And I guess I'll put Iowa State at 3. I think Kansas is a close 3, but Iowa State is higher ranked. Jayhawks just lost. I think they're better than BYU. So that's what I'll do. Utah, Tech, and Iowa State.
Okay.
Of the conference, of the teams that are undefeated, who has the most impressive win? That's where I'm struggling on this, because I think it's Baylor. But they're also not undefeated.
They've probably had the toughest schedule to this point.
Sure.
Hey, Jeff, that doesn't. I mean, if you think they're the best team, it doesn't matter if they're 1-1.
From just what we've seen so far, and that's what we have to judge us on. I'm going to go Baylor, Tech, Utah. 1, 2, 3. I'm not locking Baylor into that position, obviously, because Tech hasn't played anybody yet. But you've been impressive in both of your games, as you should have been.
Okay. I think Iowa State is number one on my. I know they are. They're number one on my list. They have 2 Power 4 conference wins already this season, so I think their resume is the best at this point. I think TCU's road win at North Carolina, they've only played 1 game, which is crazy that Iowa State's played 3 and they've only played 1. But TCU is number 2 on my list. I think their win at North Carolina was not just a win, but in dominating fashion was impressive. And number 3 on my list at this point right now is Utah. And really winning on the road against UCLA is a big part of that. And then they were impressive again this week. So I think their resume is a little bit better than the Red Raiders at this point.
I'd kind of forgotten about TCU. I'd kind of dismissed them, but you're probably right about that.
They're still there.
Yeah, they're still there. They're
still in the conference.
They're still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is crazy that they've only played 1 game. Mm-hmm. You know, that is kind of nuts.
Now let me piggyback off of this. Mm-hmm. Who are the bottom 3 in this conference right now?
Oklahoma State at 16, West Virginia at 15, and UCF at 14.
Yeah, I'll go Oklahoma State. I'll go Kansas State, and I'll go Cincinnati.
I think I go Oklahoma State 16, West Virginia 15, and Kansas State 14. Yes, the loss to Iowa State shouldn't be as much of a factor as it is with them having 2 losses. It's a conference game. The weather conditions were terrible. They played well. It was overseas, all of that. They did not look good in their win, and you can't lose to Army.
You can't. Yeah.
Who lost to a non-Power 5 last week.
At home.
Yeah. I'm so confused about Kansas State that it's shocking to me that I've got them that low.
I think Army is a really difficult team to play because they run an offense that you don't get to see very often. And I think that definitely helps Army. I think it makes it really difficult to prepare for teams that just don't see that very often. So I don't put as much negativity in the loss to Army.
It's more that's the type of game that, and what I mean by Kansas State has always been able to play their game, no matter what it was, and be able to handle those type of situations before. That's one of the reasons that they've had success against the Red Raiders, is because the consistency that they can play with. They didn't shoot themselves in the foot. They didn't make the mistakes. They weren't flashy. They were the San Antonio Spurs dynasty run, where they weren't going to beat you with a 40-point score. They were going to beat you with 5 30-point scores. You know, it was that kind of just vanilla ice cream, bread and butter kind of stuff, and that's not what we're seeing from this Wildcat team right now. It's a little shocking to me.
Yeah, I have Kansas State at 9 on my list. I'm not nearly as down on them as you guys are. Yeah.
You're more rational.
And I also think that I fear that they'll get better as they go along.
Yeah, and you're probably right about that.
I don't want that to happen at all.
Yeah. This is way too early to have come out, but I think they're updating this weekly now. But CBS is out with their bowl projections, Jamie, after just a couple of weeks into the college football season, 3 if you count the week 0 stuff, which to me it's just week 1.
Well, Iowa State counts it for sure.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I think it's week 1. That's, to me, it's just week 1. It's not week 0. It's just week 1. But how about this? They still have Texas Tech in the college football playoff, Jamie, as the 8th seed, playing a home game here in Lubbock on December the 19th or 20th against Notre Dame.
Oh, man.
With the winner facing Ohio State.
Sign me up.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. They have Texas down to a 7 seed. They would host right now Florida State. Oregon would host South Carolina. South Carolina looks pretty good. And Georgia would host South Florida. The top 4 seeds, Ohio State, LSU, Miami, and Penn State as it stands right now. Okay.
Give me the top 4 again.
Ohio State, LSU, Miami, and Penn State.
Okay.
And 5th is Georgia. 6th is Oregon. 7th is Texas. 8th is Texas Tech in this matchup. 9th is Notre Dame, whom you would play.
Notre Dame at the Jones in the college football playoff.
How about
Goodness
that?
Gracious.
Just put us against anybody, right? Just being there
would be fun.
It would be.
See the Golden Domers here.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
The Morning Drive. Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. We've had a number of them today. Also, the Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. Red Raiders get a win over Kent State on Saturday, 62-14. Gets a little bit tougher this week as they'll take on Oregon State on Saturday. That'll be at Jones Stadium. That will end the 3-game homestand as Texas Tech and Oregon State will meet at 2:30. So our Optimum Game Day live coverage will begin at 7 a.m. Take you up to the kick as then we'll have the game here for you. And after the game, it's the Double T 97.3 Coors Light postgame show. So all that, then you hit the road for a couple of games and have an off weekend there. And you'll start Big 12 play. Texas Tech ranked now 20th in the coaches poll and 21st in the Associated Press. And Jamie, just so you know, because I was kind of amazed by this, it's your highest ranking since October 27th of 2017 when you were ranked 15th.
Okay.
So
I 1,000% buy that.
Yeah.
Let's hope you can cruise past that one, too.
Yeah, right, and keep moving up. Did aside from the usual suspects, did anybody stand out to you on Saturday?
Who stood out on Saturday? I continue to be impressed with Reggie Virgil.
Okay.
I thought Adam Hill obviously looked good, running for 120 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Would like to see what he's going to do against stiffer competition because that offensive line's dominating up front there with the second and third team, and he's not getting touched till he's 6-8 yards down the field, so that's a big factor in that. I can't think of anybody that jumps out. I thought that A.J. Holmes played really well in the middle of the defense there.
What about Terrence Carter?
Yeah, I thought he was quiet compared to for week
one. Yeah. He had a drop in the game too, but
I know he's a usual suspect, but I feel like this one gets a pass. I liked what we saw from Barron off the injury. It didn't look like that affected him at all. And I know it's his muscle and everything else, but the way it was looking, it didn't look. We were wondering if he was even going to play, and went out and played really well.
18 to 26, 258, 3 touchdowns. I do think that he was hampered a little bit just in getting his back leg set. So because I was watching that through my binoculars. Not that I'm any quarterback expert or anything like that, but I think some of the misses were just based on the fact that he wasn't able to get his full motion into it. Maybe because of the
and a couple situations overthrew his receiver by 5 yards.
Yeah,
I mean he still had the off of his hands. So again, he's a usual suspect, so it feels a little dirty picking him.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting him to look that good with everything we heard about the soft tissue injury that he was dealing with all week.
So Upton Belafonte hits a 23-yarder, but Stone Harrington hits a 47-yarder.
Impressive.
Harrington had 10 kickoffs, 5 touchbacks. I do think they worked on that some. He wasn't asked that specifically like he was week one, or he didn't bring that up. and maybe he will today, Coach McGuire, but it felt like that there were some times when maybe they were just working on their kick return game a little bit just to kind of see how that was. He did have one that went out of bounds that looked like that wasn't intentional, obviously. And then Ian Hershey had one kickoff that was a touchback as well.
Oh, I didn't even notice that Mr. Dual Kicker got into the game.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. I think Tristan Gentry's another guy that I would say is not a usual suspect that has continued to be happy with. Maybe the numbers don't show it because of those penalties, but he's doing a really good job in the return game.
Yeah, absolutely. And then defensively, I just think you continue to I just thought defensively you were crushingly dominant. And again, I realize that who you're playing and you should be and all that kind of stuff. But go ahead.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, but. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's but I mean, again, there have been times when you've had buts and the buts weren't.
Yeah, your team wasn't loaded like this one is.
It's loaded. There's no doubt about it. It's loaded. That's for sure. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see what they're doing and the kind of pressure that they're putting on the quarterback and getting sacks and things like that. So anyway, that was really good. Chalupa says this. I think the janitors looked good picking up all those stupid tortillas y'all wanted to waste. They're not being wasteful. They're going to feed animals somewhere, hogs or something.
I also received a report during the game that Chuck Heinz was absolutely throwing tortillas.
I threw one.
Yep.
We had the little phenom with us, and the lucky lady brought them with her like she did for the young phenom the week before, and so I showed him how to do it. And I felt a little dirty because I've come out against it, and I don't really like it. But he got charged up, and he threw one, and I threw one. So
well, that's good that he had a good time with it.
He had a good time, yeah. Mm-hmm. He had a good time. He stayed the whole game. We loaded him up with candy and popcorn and a pretzel with cheese, and so he was well taken care of.
Can I slightly change the subject? I'm a little jealous of our audience, by the way.
Okay.
Normally they're jealous of us because we get to go to the game. Jamie and I are in the press box. Chuck has got great seats on his side of the field, and all the backstage access we got. But something a lot of our audience has been raving about all weekend on social media, we didn't get to participate in.
Which was?
Apparently, the TNT coverage was phenomenal.
That's what I hear.
Weekend.
That's what I keep hearing, yeah.
And it was right. I was still seeing some of it coming up on Sunday when I was getting up and getting going, that everybody just raving about it. I can't wait for Tech's first road game on TNT so I could enjoy that as well.
Okay.
I'm jealous of them.
Okay. I get that. I get that.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.